So what comes to mind when I say the word Calgary? I bet you're thinking oil and gas and the stampeding cowboys and cold winters. But I'm telling you, there's so much more to the city. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why it's an investor's paradise right now. Calgary is the next IT city, but it's also the next IT city, and it's about to pop. So to get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Kyle DeVigi, and I turned 40 years old this year. I've lived in Toronto for over 16 years now, and I'm originally from Sudbury, which is a city in northern Ontario. I'm married, and I have a beautiful 6-month-old baby boy. Now, I know you think that's great, but how am I going to make you money? That's what you're actually asking, wondering to yourself. Well, I'm a real estate broker here in Toronto, and I've been a real estate investor for over 10 years. And in those 10 years, I turned one deposit of $38,500 on a pre-construction condo now into a portfolio of 6 properties that are worth over $4 million. In a previous career, I used to manage Lotto 649 and Lotto Max draws on behalf of the Interprovincial Lottery Corporation. So you see these balls here? These were actually used in live lottery draws, the actual ball draws. Now, lottery is obviously gambling. And there was a poll done by BMO in 2014 that said 34% of Canadians, about 1 in 3, are planning to fund their retirement by winning the lottery. Can you believe this? The actual odds of 649 of winning the jackpot are 1 in 14 million. The odds of winning Lotto Max are 1 in over 33 million. I wanted to help other people invest instead of gambling on their future. So I'm investing in real estate because I want to build my own pension fund. The days of big corporations and governments providing pensions for everyone is over. Plus, I'm self-employed, so there's no one that's going to do it for me. I need to save my money and build my own pension fund. And that's where real estate investing is amazing. It's very simple, really. And it's a 4-step process. Number 1, you need to buy. You need to start investing in real estate. Get that first property. Number 2 is, once you have that property, you get a tenant to move in. They're paying you rent every month. They're covering your mortgage. They're covering your expenses. But you still own the asset that's appreciating every single year. Number 3, once that property is appreciated, you can start to pull out that equity to invest in other properties. This is all tax-free. This is how you start to exponentially grow your portfolio without any more money out of your pocket. And number 4, after 30 years, you have hopefully a couple properties that are completely paid off and are all cash flowing because you still have tenants in all of those. So you kick back, you retire. So when Calgary opportunities were first brought to me, I was skeptical. I'm sure you're having your doubts. But after looking at everything, Calgary is an up-and-coming city. It's really the next market that's about to experience exponential growth. And it got me really excited. And here's why. So Calgary has actually been ranked the #1 most livable city in North America and the #5 most livable city in the world. This is mind-blowing. But people love living in cities because there's attractions, there's entertainment, there's things to do, there's nightlife. That's where the fun is happening. And we just had a federal election here in Canada, and one of the key initiatives was housing affordability. And this is where Calgary really shines, because Calgary is the 2nd lowest cost of living of Canadian cities and 9th lowest in North America. This isn't just housing, this is actually all expenses. It's very cheap to live there. Gas is cheap, utilities are cheap, property tax is incredibly low. But not only that, it's actually the highest median income of major Canadian cities as well. So you have the lowest cost of living, but some of the highest incomes across Canada. This is a magical formula that exists nowhere else in Canada. Now, what Calgary might have more than any other Canadian city is the outdoors. Calgarians love to live outside. And yes, it's cold, but I'm from Sudbury. It was cold there. You find ways to deal with it. Vancouver's rainy. Toronto's humid in the summer and slushy in the winter. You want cold, you go to Winnipeg. Winnipeg is cold. So what Calgary has is a ton of outdoor space, 7,500 hectares of parks. They also have the most extensive outdoor pathway of urban bike network in all of North America. They're located in the foothills of the Rockies. Banff is only an hour and a half away. You have countless ski hills and other recreational parks all around. And obviously it's going to rank very high for healthiest lifestyle because you can get outside. That's been consistently ranked as one of the best things for your health. And Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada. How amazing do you feel when the sun shines? Calgary has it over 2,300 sun-filled hours on average every year. So Calgary is a great place to live, but how are you going to make money? You need a driver here for real estate prices to appreciate. Well, one of those main drivers is going to be the population of Alberta. So over the next 25 years, they're forecasting that Alberta is going to grow by 1.9 million people. The current population is about 4.4. So that's almost about a 50% growth in size over the next 25 years. So some of this population is going to come from interprovincial migration. Some is just going to be natural growth from people having babies, family formations, but the vast majority is going to come from immigration. Alberta is very immigration forward, and following with the Canadian policies as well, this is going to be a major driver for real estate prices moving forward. We're going to see growth here. So something I think a lot of us forget is that Calgary is actually Canada's fourth largest city by GDP. Yes, we have Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, but Calgary is not that far behind. Calgary actually has a larger economy than the provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta. And urbanization is going to continue to be a factor, not just globally, but also within Canada. And for the economy in Calgary, it is absolutely strengthening. There's over 700 tech companies already there today, and they're looking to double that number over the next 10 years. They have the highest concentration of tech workers in Canada. Can you believe that? That was mind-blowing to me. You hear about Toronto being the tech Silicon Valley of the North, but it's really Calgary. And they have the highest concentration of head offices in Canada as well, and the second highest small business concentration, which is absolutely fantastic to try and grow and strengthen your economy. Now, I know you're going to say, Kyle, Calgary is dependent on oil and gas, and that's simply not true anymore. It's definitely still an important part of the economy, but so is agriculture and finance and real estate. What we've seen in the economy for Calgary is that it's broadly diversified away from oil and gas. And it's not really one sector that's completely replaced it, but it's growth in all of the other sectors, which is actually very healthy for the economy overall. I'm from Sudbury. Sudbury was dependent on nickel and mining, was very boom and bust, but it's completely diversified away from that into education, into other industrial practices, leveraging that mining technology. And the exact same thing has happened in Calgary. Oil and gas is always going to be there, but it's going to be a smaller and smaller percentage. And the overall economy in Calgary is going to be less and less dependent on the price of oil and gas moving forward. So I already touched on this a bit, but this is where I really started to get excited about Calgary. A tech boom is not coming there, it's already there. Calgary has the highest portion of STEM graduates of any Canadian city. They also have over 2,000 open tech jobs today waiting for people to come and to fill those positions. Of those are high paying positions, and that's a lot of people alone right there that need good quality housing. And we've seen a lot of companies, not only tech companies, but a lot of finance, pharmaceuticals that are fleeing expensive, high tax, tightly regulated markets in favor of low cost, business friendly cities. Calgary has that in spades. And for low cost, the downtown in Calgary, the office space there, it's renting at about $17.50 a square foot. That is much less than other cities like Edmonton or Toronto, Vancouver. Calgary has a vibrant downtown core, and we are starting to see tech companies already starting to move in. We probably won't see too many of the Facebooks or Googles yet, but it is definitely the medium and small businesses that are moving in. And those are the innovators, and those are the ones that are really going to benefit the local economy, more so than the large multinational companies. So next, I know you're wondering, what do the demographics look like in Calgary? Are there any renters? What's going on there? And the demographics right now are incredibly favorable to renting. So you want to start being a landlord in Calgary. The age, 88% are younger than 65. 25% are between 25 to 40 years old. Those are really the key rental demographic, that age. The marital status, 29% are single, and 59% are married in common law. So this is where which unit should I buy? There's probably about a 50-50 split between 1 bedrooms and 1+ dens and 2 bedroom and larger units. So there's definitely people looking to rent both of those types. A lot of people ask me, should I be investing in smaller cities like Windsor or Sudbury, Brantford? And my answer always comes back to household income. What sort of tenant profile do I want? This is probably the most important of anything that I look at, their income and their credit score. And 28% of Calgarians are earning over $150,000. And 78% are earning over $50,000. This means that of all of those people, they can definitely afford the rent that it's going to cost them. And they're likely going to have very good credit because they have lots of disposable income, with Calgary being such an affordable city to live. So this is an ideal situation from a landlord perspective. I like to think of myself as a smart guy. I have 2 degrees from Laurier, but it doesn't compare when you take a look at big companies like Minto. They have a team of analysts. They're a billion-dollar company. They use computer models, and I pay attention when they move into new markets. They've done the analysis. They've done their homework, and they saw Calgary as an opportunity, and they really started to expand heavily in it in 2020. And one of those was the Annex. It was 108 units that were located in Kensington. There was Era, which was about 186 units located in Bridgeland. And there was East Hills Crossing, which had well over 200 units. So this really shows that confidence is absolutely returning to the Calgary market. Not just the local people that are there, but investors across Canada are really starting to pay attention, because affordability has severely eroded in the other major markets. So I purchased a unit already in Calgary, and I decided on that purchase when I really started to add everything up together. So not only is it good to diversify your portfolio, I have 6 properties in the GTA, and it's impossible to predict which building or area is going to perform better than another. Just like picking single stocks, you can't do it effectively. So diversifying your portfolio, and in this case for real estate, investing in another city where I expect incredible returns, is why I decided. But not only that, there is unbeatable affordability in Calgary. We've had projects starting at $375 a square foot. Putting in perspective, downtown Toronto is now over $1,500 per square foot. This is just so cheap on an affordability level that I couldn't resist it. There's no way that these prices can stay at this level, in my opinion. But not only that, most developments in Toronto and the GTA, you have to have 15% down within about the first year. In Calgary, there are opportunities where you can invest with only 5 or maybe 10% down. And that's as little as $17,500 that you can start your real estate portfolio. Not only that, developers have confidence in the market. Many of them are giving rental guarantees on their properties of 2-3 units as well. And just about every development is including free property management, because they know investors are going to be out of town. You want this to be a passive investment, as little maintenance as possible for you. So you have a property manager that's local, on the ground, taking care of it for you. And something I can't get anywhere else, cash flow. The rent that you're going to be getting on the majority of Calgary properties, after paying your mortgage, the property taxes, condo fees, your insurance, you're going to have money left over in your pocket. I can't really get any of those things in the GTA or in Vancouver, any of their major markets, let alone all of them like you can in the Calgary market. So when I started talking to developers about the projects that they had coming up in Calgary, it was like, okay, how much is this going to cost to close though? Because we always need to factor that in. And what they were telling me, I couldn't believe. And I was like, what do you mean there's no land transfer taxes? How much are the municipalities going to charge me? And they're like, no, Kyle, there's no land transfer tax in Alberta or Calgary. It's not a thing out there. Okay. What are the development charges going to be capped at then? In Toronto, it's 10 grand easily now for a 1-bedroom. They're like, no, Kyle, there's no cap. There aren't any development charges. Like, what do you mean? There's also no provincial sales tax. There's only 5% GST, and there's a rebate available, a new housing rebate for qualified investors as well, where you can get a lot of that GST back. Not only that, Alberta is very landlord friendly, so there's no rent control. You can adjust your rent for the tenants for whatever the market rate is each year. And your closing costs in total are going to be less than $2,000. Really, it's just your legal fee and some registration fees that you have to pay. In Toronto or other major markets, you're easily looking at $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to close on a property. That's cash coming directly out of your pocket. Calgary, $2,000. And the last thing you need to know is that the Calgary market is absolutely on fire right now. In the first half of 2021 was the best year of sales since 2014. And 2014 was actually the year of the oil boom. That's where we are right now. We actually exceeded it. That's how much confidence has returned to it. Locals, investors are flooding to the market because it has investment fundamentals that I can't get anywhere else. And this is what is really driving the prices up. Not only that, we have low lending rates. There's very limited supply. There's limited new investment opportunities across Calgary. In the GTA, I think we have over 250 active developments, cranes in the ground building properties. It's not like that in Calgary. There's going to be very limited supply for years to come. So this is really your opportunity to get in early, because I think you're really at the bottom of the property cycle. There's starting to be demand in properties. There's increasing rents. We're going to see growth in the economy, more jobs, increase in population, which is going to increase housing demand, which is going to increase housing prices. All of these are great things for investors, and this is why you need to buy in now. So in general, I think most condo projects are just not worth investing in. I'm not like other brokers and sales reps out there that are sending you every single project that are launching in a city. What I do is I do my analysis, I do my homework, and for my clients, I bring them the absolute best projects that I think are going to perform incredibly well over the long term. And there's 3 projects launching shortly in Calgary that meet my requirements. The first one is condos that are going to be in Skyview Ranch, which is the northeast section of Calgary. These are going to be from $200,000, only going to be 10% down. They're going to come with a 3-year rental guarantee, closing in 2023. If you want that AAA downtown location, there's going to be condo building launching in Eau Claire. It's only going to be 5% down. It's going to come with 3-year property management, closing in 2024. So it gives you a lot of time for your deposits to earn money and appreciation. And then there's different townhome projects, really all throughout Calgary, but especially in the northwest and northeast sections. Those are 10% down, 3-year rental guarantee, but typically they close within about a year. So there's projects that are really going to meet all of your budgets out there, and something great for everyone. So if any of these seem appealing to you, please reach out as soon as possible, because I guarantee all of them will sell out quickly. So my goal is to make real estate investing as easy as possible for my clients. You get to leverage my experience, my expertise, my knowledge, and the homework that I'm doing on these projects and the industry in general. I need to give you the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. So there is never a dumb question. So please, if you have questions, reach out, call, text, email. I will respond to everyone that I receive. There's never a cost for any of the help that I provide to you. Anyone can start a real estate portfolio. It all starts with one property. So please get in touch today.